Everybody, this is Gainer Milky from the Emotional Home Improvement Project, and today I'm going to talk about internal family systems and how that has really helped me bring myself together, and then share just some background on it so that maybe you can also explore it for yourself. And the internal family system, although maybe it sounds like it's all about family therapy and family dynamics, is really about the self. It's about bringing all of your parts together, which are kind of like your internal family of being. So some examples of this is all of us have different parts, and at times they can kind of be at war with each other, unfortunately. Um, that's also similar to some families, but this is really all about yourself. And it was something that Dr. Schwartz created through his work um, with therapy and with his patients. And so what he found was that his patients had different parts, which is not a new concept, but that they all could work together harmoniously as a family and kind of heal the self, which is oftentimes why people go to therapy. And the kind of really interesting and I would say like mind-changing takeaway from this is that it doesn't really matter how much trauma or how many issues you have, or how long you've been dysfunctional or feeling depressed or anxious, or however your parts are not working together well. It doesn't really matter. If you do this work over time, you can become more integrated, and that's really what we see when people are deregulated or having, problems within their family or at work or anything like that. There's parts of them that aren't working properly, and they're not working properly together. And oftentimes, this can start in childhood. And as I go through kind of the three different main parts that we all have inside of us, to varying degrees, and they can be real troublemakers. So one of them are exiles. And these are the parts of us that we've locked away because like this is where the trauma lives. These represent trauma, and sometimes it's just too painful for them to be part of you. And, I certainly have had that going on um, over multiple years. Then there's managers, and these are the parts of us that are controlling and rigid, and we want to control other people, or we have behaviors or rituals, or you can classic OCD types of behaviors because we're trying to block out the pain. And if we do these things, then we're not going to feel these whatever's behind the activities of the manager within. And then the third main part is the firefighters. And this, unfortunately, is the one that's really like gasping for help. And it's the things that we see as addictions or really bad avoidance behaviors or impulsivity. So, when people say, like, what's wrong with that person, oftentimes it's a firefighter that's working like within them because there's something that's so terrible happening that they need to completely dissociate and distract themselves from it. So those are the three different parts of self that often cause issues. Introduction to parts work, and I hope this has opened the door uh, to perhaps going and seeking the help of a therapist who's trained in parts work so that you can benefit from it. But you can also do it on your own or in a group if you feel that you're able to cope doing that. It can be really beneficial. So I'm going to share some of that in subsequent videos, but please be aware I'm not a therapist and I wouldn't want you to delve into some of this work if you're not feeling supported. So be sure to assess where you're at. If this sounds interesting to you, you can listen to some of the other videos or explore it on your own. Again, it's the internal family system approach, and it can be really beneficial.